Cassidy.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. Go ahead and have a seat. All right, so last time we just kind of touched on a lot of things that were going on in your life now and in the past. I know we talked a little bit about your ADD, and it kind of seemed like you feel like you're pretty in control of that situation, kind of got that figured out. We also talked about your boyfriend a little bit, and I don't know if maybe you want to touch on that a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I remember a little about a friend, too, that you had, and now you're a little bit distant with her, so are those issues we want to talk about more? Do you have something else that's, okay?
Yeah.
You tell me a little bit more about any of those situations, whatever you feel like you're stressed out a little bit more about right now?
Yeah, like, I didn't really talk about my boyfriend last time, like, we just kind of touched on it, but I have been dating him for almost 4 years now.
Wow.
4 year will be in January. And it's kind of getting stressful because, like, we're really close and we're great and we don't have a lot of problems. The only problem really is that we don't live together. And we're kind of at the point of our relationship where it's very, like, we want to be with each other all the time.
Right.
And, like, we want to hang out. We just want to, like, have, like, our things. It's gotten to the point. But we have 2 separate places to live, you know, with 2 separate schedules and 2 jobs. And, like, if we were living at a house, like, one house, it'd be easy to just come home and say, hey, when are you coming home? But it's, I got to go home, and I've got to get my dog, and I've got to get my bag ready, and I got to come over. You know, like, I can't.
So you feel like you just want that central location that you know you can see each other all the time.
It's so stressful having 2 separate places.
Do you feel like there's one place or the other that you're at more? Does that add any conflict?
It's stressful to me because I'm always at my boyfriend's house, and I don't really have a problem with it, but it kind of since my roommates are kind of annoyed by it, like the fact that I'm never there. And, like, I'll come home, and I'll literally be home for, like, 5 minutes. I'll grab my dog, and I'll be like, oh, I'm going over to Daniel's.
Yeah,
See ya, sorry.
You have to have your life all packed up all the time.
Always. I live out of suitcases, and it's ridiculous because I have a huge house, and I can have all my stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so it kind of sounds like you're really happy in a relationship. There's this little factor that you want to figure out.
It's just like a big barrier.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Okay, but the relationship is good? You feel like, I mean, are you guys in a lease that is there a time situation that you have to wait for?
Yeah, we have to wait for our leases to go up, which are probably in next August, but we'll probably sign a lease, like, for someplace before that, and, you know, maybe, like, try and get out of ours, because I know both of our places are very flexible.
Right.
So maybe, like, a month early or something.
So you guys feel like you're on the same page about moving in together?
Yeah, and we both want a house with a fence, because both of us have dogs.
Okay.
That's also a barrier. Like, he can't come over to my house because his dog's not allowed in my house. And that really bothers me, but, like, my dog's allowed at his house. So that's another reason why I'm always over there, because he can't bring his dog, and then it's like, well, you know, you can always leave your dog with your roommates. He doesn't always want to do that.
That becomes stressful for him, too, then. So how many dogs do you guys have together?
I mean, I have one and he has one. So, and they're awesome dogs that get along really well, but they, you know, they just live at separate houses. So it'd be nice when we both have a house with a fenced-in yard. Like, we're both gonna look for, like, just one house, not a duplex or a condo or anything where our dogs can get in trouble. Like, 'cause they love to be off the leash.
Okay.
And we don't like keeping our dogs off the leash.
Right, so that's not an issue then, your dog versus his dog or anything, you just, everybody likes everybody, that's good. All right, is there anything else you wanted to talk about on that subject, anything?
Probably not.
Okay, all right, so, I mean, it sounds like everything's good, you just feel like you're together but not together. Okay. I know last time you talked a little bit about your friend that lives out of state. Can you refresh me on that? Maybe give me a little bit more information?
My friend Jenna, she has been my best friend since kindergarten. We were kind of those friends where, like, I moved away, but we stayed in touch, and we never fought. There was never any drama between us. Like, whenever we got together, we just had a blast, and it just worked. And when I was a freshman, she called me and told me she was going to be joining the Marines. And that was really difficult, you know, because it's just like I'm used to her being at least an hour away from me, or like 10 minutes from my house. And so it's like, it was really hard. And then when she went there, you know, we obviously did, like, we lost contact as much like as we used to. We used to talk at least once or twice a week. And now it's like once every couple of weeks, and it's really hard. And it's even more difficult because a few months ago, about in April, she texted me that she had a boyfriend.
Mhm.
And I was like, cool, congratulations, like I'm so happy for
Yeah.
you, you know, I can't wait to meet him, blah, blah, blah. Then about a month and a half later, she texted me with a picture of an engagement ring, and I'm like,
Oh, wow.
at work, like crying, like, what?
Okay,
What
so
are you
that
like,
was a shock.
I'm not the kind of friend to be like, you just told me your name, like, I'm not gonna be mad at her,
Mhm.
like, that's just ridiculous. I know how it works, Marines, you know,
Mhm.
they marry other Marines and they do it fast.
Yeah, okay,
And-
so he is a Marine, too.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it's, you know, I understand it, and I just didn't expect it, but I was so happy for her. I'm so happy for her. Well, then a week later, she texts me, and she's like, we got married. Like, I had talked to her the night she got engaged, and she's like, we're gonna do it in November, we're gonna come home, you know, like, we've got this much to plan. He's
Mhm.
going to California for a few months, and I'm gonna be here in South Carolina, so, like, it's not gonna work. So we're gonna have, like, a long-distance kind of engagement
Mhm.
and get married. Which I'm fine with. But then it's like, oh, we decided to just get married at the courthouse. So I missed her marriage, which is,
Right, you feel like you missed out on a really big part of
yeah,
her life.
a really big part of her life. And something that I wouldn't think of her not being at my wedding, you know? And I think we both have different ones. Like, I want that big wedding with
Mhm.
all of my friends, and I want that tradition.
Mhm.
And she's not really that kind of girl, so I understand it.
Right,
But
so
Yeah.
it sounds like you're really happy for her, but at the same time, you're a little bit upset that you missed out on that and that.
well, there's a lot more I've missed out on too.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah,
gets married.
elaborate.
Yeah, she gets married, and a few months ago, like maybe August, I was talking to her, texting. We finally get to call each other. It's like one of those shower conversations. We're just catching up,
Mhm.
and we are talking, and I said something like, "Oh, I'm getting so fat lately. College is making me fat."
Mhm.
And it's like a joke. And she said, oh, me too. And then 2 minutes later, she goes, hey, hang up the phone, I'm gonna text you something, I have a picture to show you. Call me when you get it.
Okay.
And so I hang up the phone, I'm at my boyfriend's house, and I get it, I'm at the kitchen counter, I kind of forgot, because it took like
Mhm.
10 minutes for it to get there. And he looked down, and it's a sonogram, and I was like,
Oh, wow.
what? I was just like, oh my gosh, my best friend is pregnant, and I was like freaking out. And I called her, and I was crying, and I was like, I'm so happy for you, but she tells me she's been planning it, like, she's already like 4 months pregnant, so I was a little upset
Mhm.
that I wasn't told right away, but I understand because she wanted to wait for the perfect time, and
Mhm.
I was told before a lot of the people. She really wanted to keep it a secret, so
Okay.
I finally get to see her on Sunday. I'm really excited about it, but I'm just like, I get to meet her husband for the first time,
Yeah.
and she's like 6 months pregnant. I'm just like,
So this is the first time you're going to see her in how long?
since December.
December.
Yeah, I was all excited she was here.
So it sounds like you're a little excited, maybe a little nervous under all of that.
I don't know what I'm gonna
So
do when
much
I see
going
her
on.
with him. She's so tiny and skinny,
Mhm.
and she's like the littlest Marine probably ever, and she's pregnant. And I'm just like, but I have to miss her birth. That's what I'm really upset about. Is because stupid Marines, she has to give birth in on base
Okay.
for her to, like, for the benefits to work
Uh-huh.
and for her husband to be
Okay.
there and for them to get leave and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So she can't leave after she has a baby either. So, like, I don't even know if her parents are gonna get to see it. Like, if
Yeah.
it comes early, it
So
comes
you feel like
early.
you're gonna miss out on all of that too, on top of everything. So have you kept in contact with her, like on a regular basis about all these things going on? Do you feel like you've kind of got to talk to her about it even though you're not there with her?
I mean, I've never really expressed that I was upset that,
Okay.
you know, like, I'm missing her, I missed her wedding or anything, you know?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna, because I just think that's something that's just kind of like a selfish
Yeah.
act for me to say something like that.
You feel like you should just be happy for her and not really talk to her about anything that you're feeling?
Yeah.
That's understandable. I feel like you should just be a good friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to elaborate on there, or?
I'm just really excited to see her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm freaking out right now.
So you haven't met her husband?
I haven't. I'm so
Okay.
excited to meet her husband.
Does she talk about
I've talked to
her?
him. Like every time she's ever gotten a boyfriend, I've physically like called them and been like, I need to talk to you because you're not
That
dating my
sounds
friend
like a really
until
good
I talk
friend.
to you. I'm sorry. And I've actually dealt with boyfriends that I didn't like of hers, and I was like, I don't like you. You can't date my friend.
So it sounds like you guys were really, really close then?
Yeah.
Like, maybe a sisterly relationship almost?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay. All right, so kind of talked about your boyfriend a little bit more. And just, that sounds like a really good relationship, that I think you have something good going on. You just have couple little issues to work out on the surface, but
Yeah.
it sounds like the basic part of it is really good. And then your friend, maybe next time we can talk a little bit about after you see her and how you felt about meeting her husband and her pregnancy and everything. Maybe we can kind of touch on that a little bit next time.
Okay.
All right, it was really good talking to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Stop.
Oh my God.